love, I would love to hear everybody's comments. How do y'all feel? What y'all think? What would y'all do? How would y'all react? Especially if we had to sit in front of, AI judges, AI jurors, AI, if we had to sit here and have an AI lawyer defend us, how would y'all feel? What do y'all think would happen? Like, we're talking about mechanical stuff with no feelings. These are robots. They have no feelings, no mind. They can't think, they can't feel, they can't really, how can I say, tell how somebody is by their body language. They can't really read body language. They might be able to read the heat, the signature of your body and all that, but they can't really determine if somebody's bad or somebody's good or somebody's telling a lie or somebody's telling the truth. So let's get started with this interview right here. Well, this is not really an interview. How can I say it? This is more of a meeting. People in a council talking and trying to put together if it's okay for the AIs to come out, which they already here. For those of y'all that don't know, check it out. Let me see. No, you know what? Let me just show y'all the interview. What happened? It took me out the interview. I mean the video. I apologize for that. I didn't mean for that to happen. Here we go. So this right here, I am gonna have to pause every time I get a chance because it's not like them other two videos I showed y'all on part 1. So let's watch the video and let's talk about it. If y'all wish to come up, let a shorty know. I'm gonna put the link down there and I'm gonna pin it.
Having some core between generative AI and sparked a profound transformation in the creation. By the way, Mr. Irwin, I've got big font up here too, so you're not the only one. No, that's fine. The committee will come to order. I want to welcome our guest and welcome the members to what is undoubtedly going to be the first of many AI hearings. My staff, in preparation for this, know.
Once again, I would love to hear y'all comments, what y'all think. Interact with a shorty. Have a conversation with a shorty. It's an open panel. Let's see what y'all got. Let's have a conversation. Let's make this lit. Let's have some fun. Like I said, once again, share it. Let's have a conversation, y'all. Let's talk about it.
One of my favorite jokes on artificial intelligence which I was telling long before it becoming a direct issue for this committee, and that is that artificial intelligence is what members have when their staff prepares their opening statements. So yes, today we stand at the intersection of two rapidly evolving domains: generative artificial intelligence and existing copyright law that must adapt to it. The advent of generative AI technologies has sparked a profound transformation in the creation, distribution, and consumption of a new form of creative work. As we embark in our legal journey, along with the administration in their regulatory powers, it is vital that we explore the complex relationship between generative AI and copyright law, recognizing both the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. Generative AI holds immense potential for innovative and artistic expression. It empowers creators to explore new frontiers, fueling their imagination with AI-generated content. Yet with the power that comes with it comes responsibility. Responsibility for negative activity on the web and of copyright laws being trampled. Copyright laws were designed to protect intellectual property. Copyright laws also exist under our Constitution specifically to encourage and then reward for creations. It's that encouragement that in fact creates the right of ownership, not the right of ownership having some core item.
And what he's saying right here also goes for those of y'all that are curious, it also goes for them videos that y'all upload that are y'all's, like, music, poems, stuff like that, copyright. So if y'all listen to what he's saying right here, it also goes towards, what we upload here towards social media. If it's yours and you made it and somebody uses it, it's a copyright. They have no rights reserved towards your video. So you can strike whoever uploads any type of, you know, video that you made.
In this hearing, we aim to strike a delicate balance. Let me rephrase that in spite of what it says here. In this hearing, we recognize there's a delicate balance, and we would hope that our panel today represents both a diversity of views and a possible collaboration. We must consider, though, that there will be individuals on each side who will not want to move. There will be companies, which would include some of the household words, Microsoft, Meta, which is not yet a household word, but Facebook is, and in fact, Google, that are on both sides of this issue, being both massive creators of their own copyright and massive users of others. It is our duty to adapt, refine.
You see how he just explained what I just said to y'all? It's crazy is a loophole. Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Copyright laws to accommodate the transformative potential of generative AI, while safeguarding the interest of existing creators and of the right of the society as a whole to benefit. Generative AI presents both challenges and opportunities for creative works and copyright holders.
For those of you that are lost, they're going to be talking about everything: the copyrights, the robots that they have. They're already turning into judges, lawyers, jurors. They're going to be talking about everything artificial intelligence, everything. What y'all saw in the movie Terminator and the Matrix, you're going to hear a lot about it in these interviews. So for those of y'all that are a little lost, in the interviews, in these meetings and much more. So basically what they're trying to do is come to a conclusion if it is safe for AI robots to become, judges, lawyers, jurors, cashiers, to work in, the government and much more. Will they be capable of stealing information, giving it away, much more? So I'm hoping that y'all understand the whole purpose of this. And I would love for y'all to interact with a shorty. I would love to hear y'all comments. Like I said, y'all comments really do help a shorty out. We're not here to judge. We're here to build. We're here to learn. Each one, teach one.
It requires thoughtful consideration and ongoing discussion with stakeholders to strike a balance between protecting intellectual property rights, encouraging creativity, and fostering innovative content, AI generated included. Today, all of us here understand that generative AI is nascent. As we receive briefings, we hear about first generation, second generation, third generation, now fourth generation. And by the way, the education of this young child is profound, from something that was hard to understand to something that said.
Did y'all peep how he said the education of this young child? If I get a chance on this live, I'm going to show y'all how there is an AI robot that finished college. Yes, to become a lawyer. So listen, I'm hoping that y'all enjoy the content. Like I said, I would love to hear y'all feedback, okay? I would love to hear y'all feedback on this videos.
Said the wrong thing to something that now is so usable that we might often forget to fact check its output because it seems so good. But we must first and foremost address properly the concerns surrounding unauthorized use of copyrighted material, while also recognizing the potential of generative AI can only be achieved with massive amounts of data, far more than is available outside of copyright. By embracing a forward-thinking approach, we can establish guidelines to promote responsible and ethical practices in the realm of generative AI. As we embark on our legal journey, let us approach it with a spirit of collaboration, as those who were on the call the other day clearly were doing. Let us find common ground, seeking solutions that promote the flourishing of both creative expression and intellectual property protection. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the outcome will shape the future landscape of art, technology, and copyright. Today, let us navigate this uncharted territory to ensure that generative AI and copyright laws foster in the future a fairly harmonious and vibrant ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this with what I'm hearing and all the research that that I've been doing myself and looking up all the videos I've been watching, all the articles I've been reading. I honestly feel like these AI robots ain't no different from these chips they're trying to implant in our arms.
For generations to come. In closing, I might say that we clearly could have substituted patent or other areas of innovation and use just as easily, and we would have been having substantially the same hearing, perhaps in some cases with different witnesses. And in that sense, I think it's important for us all to look at this. I will close by saying that it has come to my attention that for once, Congress may not do either of the things we're known for, which is nothing at all or overreact.
Y'all heard what he said, right? I'm gonna leave that right there. A little food for thought for y'all. I wonder if any of y'all understood what he just said right there.
But that's not true around the world. Spain is moving forward with what I think might be a very restrictive interpretation. Japan believes, apparently, that all information that goes into the teaching is in fact free of any copyright restriction in its use. I do not believe that today's discussion will take us down either road. I believe that we will measure carefully and find middle ground that respects existing copyright law while allowing the future of generative AI to flourish. And with that, I yield back and recognize the ranking member for his opening.
So, in my opinion, I'm guessing that he's with the artificial intelligence. He's with, all right, let's make the AI lawyers, the AI judges, the jurors, the cashiers, the people that'll take over, supposedly allegedly replace, people's jobs.
Statement.
I thank the chairman for holding this hearing. I would assure those who are listening that Congress is getting more and more information about artificial intelligence and discussing the ramifications in all enterprises of human behavior. And I share your prediction that we will act and we will do so in a reasonable way. I don't know if we'll do the Japanese hardline position on inputs, though. I want to thank you for holding this hearing. Artificial intelligence is a promising technology with the potential to revolutionize a range of industries. But with that promise also comes potential peril, especially to the creators of art and other copyrightable works. It is critical that we think through the many ways that AI will change our lives and whether our existing laws.
Whether you here today on my live, watching this with me, reacting with me, because I am reacting to these videos for the first time with everybody. And when I'm done with them, I will put the links down below for anybody, these are videos that y'all can easily, search up yourselves too. Do y'all think that the artificial intelligence will benefit mankind.
Are up to the challenge. I'm glad that we are beginning that process today. Among the many questions that we must confront as artificial intelligence takes on a larger role in our society is how our copyright system should view AI, both in terms of how we should treat copyrighted works that are used to train an AI model, in other words, the inputs, and whether the new work that is generated by AI, in other words, the outputs, should be eligible for copyright protection itself. Just as AI machine learning is a complex process, so too is our inquiry today, as there may not be simple answers to any of these questions. First, let's consider the inputs used to train AI systems. A typical generative AI system is fed vast amounts of human-authored work on which to train. This may include written word, visual art, and music. The model then processes this information with the
And what he means by that, for those of y'all that don't understand, basically they're programming the robots so they could live in society with us, so they could do the same things that we do. In order for them to, you know, behave like us, they have to be programmed in order for them to talk and everything. But they're not. They haven't even allegedly gotten that far. I'm gonna say it like that. It looks like I'm gonna be doing a part two, a part three, and probably a part four. And I hope to see a lot of y'all. Hope in the future I get more interactions. The little bells and whistles and stuff like that. More intros will come later on in the future. Shorty is getting this channel started again, starting from scratch. So I appreciate everybody that's here supporting me and helping a shorty out. That's why I say, listen, hit that share, hit that like if y'all wish to. But listen, help a shorty out get into the algorithm, and let's do this. Let's build. Let's network. Let's keep bringing awareness, because there's a lot of people that are not aware of all this that's happening. I don't know how many of y'all know about these meetings that are happening. So I'm here. This is the podcast that Shorty is bringing. We're going to talk about it all. So let's talk about it.
help of various algorithms to detect patterns and probabilities. A foundational principle of copyright law generally requires users of copyrighted works to obtain the permission of the copyright owner. But while much of the input into generative AI systems tends to consist of works that are protected by copyright, these works are typically used without seeking consent or a license. Some argue that this constitutes fair use, and indeed, this question is being litigated in the courts as we speak. But I'm hard-pressed to understand how a system that rests almost entirely on the works of others and can be commercialized or used to develop commercial products owes nothing, not even notice, to the owners of the works it uses to power its system. Even if we determine that AI systems must seek permission to use copyrighted works, that only leads to more questions. For example, what sort of licensing system should be required? And what would represent fair compensation for these works? Other questions arise as well, such as what degree of transparency should be built into AI models, and how can we ensure that proper credit is attributed to copyrighted works? On the other side of the equation, we must consider the status of the works, the outputs that are generated by the AI model. Should a purely AI-generated work be eligible for copyright protection if it does not otherwise meet the definition of infringement? What if there was significant human creative involvement in generating the AI work? What about works that may be of a hybrid manner, consisting of both human authorship and elements that are purely AI? Whether or not an AI-generated work is eligible to be copyrighted, such works will compete, and indeed are already competing in the marketplace against human-authored works. No examination of AI is complete.
Yeah, he said competing against human authentic work. So, hey, I'm gonna leave that one to y'all. Interact with a shorty.
Complete without considering the impact that AI works will have on human creators. How do we balance the need for innovation with the need to protect human creators? None of these questions have simple answers, and that's why I'm pleased that we are joined by such a distinguished panel of witnesses to help guide our subcommittee's inquiry into important copyright issues raised by the use of artificial intelligence. I'm interested to hear your perspective on these questions, as well as whether our existing copyright framework, including recent guidance issued by the U.S. Copyright Office, is sufficient to address these questions, or whether legislation is needed. I thank the chairman for holding this important hearing again, and I yield back the balance of.
Don't it sound like they don't trust these AIs, but they want to bring them out to the world already? Which they're already here. There's already an AI that passed law school. Shit, I think they're trying to put. I think they're already testing a AI judge. That's why I'm bringing all this out, and it's all going to get to that point, y'all.
My turn.
Thank the gentleman. In lieu of the chairman's opening statement, in addition to the opening statement I read, which was a hybrid of GPT and my staff, I also will put a pure opening statement that was done through regenerative AI into the record, and without objection, it will be placed to the record. I now recognize the ranking member of the full committee, Mr. Nadler.
Thank the gentleman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this important hearing. Yesterday, some of us were privileged to attend a briefing by Sam Altman on generative AI. 30 years ago, as the internet was in its nascent stage, we were forced to grapple with a series of questions about how that then emerging technology would change our society and whether our laws were sufficient to address these new challenges. We are still wrestling with many of those issues today. Now a new technology, artificial intelligence, has emerged that has a similar potential to transform many aspects of our lives. And once again, as our technology evolves, we must determine if our laws must evolve as well. Although AI gives rise to a myriad of issues, today we are focusing on the intersection between artificial intelligence and copyright.
Here's my thing. If they don't trust the artificial intelligence themselves, what makes them think that we're going to trust it right off the gate? That's what's got me very curious. And I do wonder how many people trust the artificial intelligence right off the gate. How many of y'all is hyped that it's coming? Like, would y'all love to be sat here and be judged by, 12 robot jurors? Would y'all love to sit here and be defended by a robot? There's a lawyer. And would y'all love to be sitting here being prosecuted by a judge that is nothing but an AI robot? That's a serious question. Like, can any of y'all really be honest about that?
Even within this limited sphere of the law, I find myself with far more questions than answers as we begin this inquiry. At its core, the fundamental question we must ask is, how can we promote innovation and further development of generative artificial intelligence models while also protecting the rights of creators whose works are the engine that fuels these models and who must compete with AI-generated work in the marketplace? This is not an easy balance to strike, and many answers just lead to more questions.
Facts.
For example, a typical AI model trains on vast quantities of data, analyzing the underlying text, images, or music as it learns.
They say train, but in reality, I think he means program.
To make predictions based on that information to generate new works. Much of the information on which these generative AI systems rely is found in copyrighted works. But typically, these works are used without seeking the permission of the copyright holder. And worse yet, there is little transparency as to which copyright works are used, thus preventing creators from asserting their rights. In effect, AI systems are generating new content based on their work, content that may one day directly compete with their work, but without their knowledge or consent, and certainly without compensation. This is a troubling development. but the solutions are far from clear. What is the proper way to license these works and to monitor compliance? And what sort of transparency and accountability should be built into these systems? It's time to begin considering these important issues. As we wrestle with these questions about how to treat the inputs into a generative AI system, there are equally thorny questions about the outputs. How should the copyright laws treat works that are generated by an AI model? The Copyright Office recently offered guidance on that question. According to the guidance, only works of, quote, human authorship are eligible for copyright protection. He goes on to explain that it is necessarily a fact-specific inquiry.
So basically, only humans are eligible for a copyright, not a robot. So I guess if y'all wanted to take a robot to court or something like that, y'all couldn't sue them for, I don't know. Listen, this shit is crazy. So if anybody understood that part, I'm gonna rewind it back for y'all, go back just a little bit. Break it down for a shorty.
Even within this limited sphere of the law, I find myself with far more questions than answers as we begin this inquiry. At its core, the fundamental question we must ask is, how can we promote innovation and further development of generative artificial intelligence models while also protecting the rights of creators whose works are the engine that fuels these models and who must compete with AI-generated work in the marketplace? This is not an easy balance to strike, and many answers just lead to more questions. For example, a typical AI model trains on vast quantities of data, analyzing the underlying text, images, or music as it learns to make predictions based.
I wish he would stop saying train and actually say program, because they're not trained, they're programmed. We get trained. We get trained to box. We get trained to do a lot of things, to be certified to be a nurse, a doctor. These robots get programmed. I wish he would really stop saying trained.
Based on that information to generate new works. Much of the information on which these generative AI systems rely is found in copyrighted works. But typically, these works are used without seeking the permission of the copyright holder. And worse yet, there is little transparency as to which copyright works are used,
See?
thus preventing creators from asserting their rights.
Hmm.
In effect, AI systems are generating new content based on their work, content that may one day directly compete with their work, but without their knowledge or consent, and certainly without compensation. This is a troubling development, but the solutions are far from clear. What is the proper way to license these works and to monitor compliance? And what sort of transparency and accountability should be built?
Wouldn't that be stealing from a human or something? So basically, hold on. So basically, they're trying to say, for example, we copyright somebody, we get sued, we get, money taken from us and everything in that lawsuit because of that copyright, right? But if a robot does it, steals your work and everything,